Hi, my name is Erin, and I was a patient at Western New York Children's Psychiatric Center in 2006. I went inpatient on Unit 807 at CPC for severe depression, suicide attempts, and anxiety. I was unable to live safely at home, where I was receiving outpatient treatment and had the support of my family. Besides the amazing support of the staff and the hard work of the therapists, the thing that helped me the most was the location of Children's Psychiatric Center. The buildings were surrounded by trees. Deer would come and graze near the fence, and even the occasional fox would stroll by. I am a huge nature girl, so this was super beneficial to me. Along with the wildlife, there was plenty of room for us kids to go outside and play or let off steam when need be. My stay was longer than most, but the help I received there was immeasurable. There are several concerns that I have with moving the kids to Buffalo Psychiatric Center. One of the biggest concerns on my mind would be the loss of 10 beds. This may seem like a small amount, but anyone who has seen the current wait list at Bryland hospitals, let alone short-term hospitals in Rochester, would know that these beds are necessary. CPC is currently full and has been for some time. Not to mention, someone like me could stay on the waiting list while someone with a court order is allowed ahead of me due to the small amount of inpatient resources for children and adolescents. I recall one statement saying that if we showed that those beds were necessary, they would not be lost. But I am unsure of whether or not that is still going to take effect. Regardless, the children are spending, at minimum, a month waiting for a bed for CPC at Bryland, which is a short-term hospital, so average stay 3 days to 2 weeks. When I was doing advocacy work there, I saw many kids' mental health decline even further because they can't receive intensive therapy and the treatment they needed in a hospital like Bryland. Another concern of mine is the adult patients. This concern has two aspects to it. One being the actual potential of an incident occurring, and two being the impact that seeing severely mentally ill adults, some of which who have been hospitalized for years, would have on youth. Even if there are multiple of guidelines in place to prevent an incident from occurring, the hard truth is that it just might happen. While I was in outpatient therapy at Butler Clinic, which is on the grounds, I had an incident where a male exposed himself to me. I was 19 or 20 at the time. It's set up so that those things can't happen, but they do. In regards to my other part of this concern, it's difficult to find hope when you are going through so many life changes and challenges. I would drill it through the kids' heads at Bryland every day that there is hope. However, I had multiple youth saying things like, I'm just going to be like the adults in this hospital, coming and going. Or, there is no hope. Look at all the adults who come in, because Bryland is both for children and adults. Now imagine not only seeing severely mentally ill adults for 2 weeks, but 3 to 4 months, which is the average stay at CPC. It would wear down your resolve to get better pretty quickly. I am also concerned with the implementation of outpatient services that have been promised before the move would even take place. I personally have not heard of any new services, nor have I been involved in coming up with possible services. This was one thing that was discussed at the previous meeting we had, that we would be involved in coming up with services. The fact is, no matter how great the outpatient service, there will always be a need for inpatient hospitalization. And we do need more outpatient services. That is a definite. But for me, outpatient wasn't enough. I needed inpatient. I would not and was not making it at home on therapy and supports. I needed that extra help, and I got it at CPC. The staff's knowledge on working with kids, along with the location and intensive therapy, helped me to recover. Kids and adolescents are very different cognitively than adults, and they need very different types of treatment. The things that work for an adult may not work for a youth, and vice versa. The facility is designed with kids in mind. There's a pool, a gym, rec room, game room, classrooms, courtyards for each unit, as well as a large courtyard and multiple other areas for the youth to hang out in. Like there's a canteen outside one of the units where you can go and get food and play games and stuff. The walls have paintings on them, both collages and handprints of hope, which are the patient's messages of hope to both new patients and visitors. The walls show so many youth who would receive help from CPC. youth removed from BPC once before, so why, after so many years, would it be a good idea to move them back? And then I wanted to say that you had stated that CPC was the top-rated hospital. Why not use it as a basis to improve other hospitals and bring them up to that level?